What's up, everybody? Welcome to Geek Alley Gaming and Let's Talk. And tonight I want to do a first impressions of the Tales of Berseria. That's the latest entry in the Tales of franchise, available out on the PlayStation 4 as well as Steam and PC. If you've been following my blog, I do have a post up there. My 15 hours in with that, but I would just want to give a you know an actual um, first impressions in video format. So, first thing first, this is, like I said, the newest entry into the Tales of series. The last entry was Tales of Hysteria that came out in 2015. And the game, in and of itself, so far, if you look on like different reviewing sites, they will tell you that this is like the darkest game in the series. I about at 15 hours in, I can definitely agree with that to some extent. Um, there's a lot to like, and there's a lot to be. There's a lot to like, and there's a lot of you know weirdness story wise, I guess you could say. But I want to start off with the stuff that I didn't like, because there's only like one real thing that I didn't like, that I don't like so far in the games right now, as it stands where I'm at personally, and that's one of the things that I didn't like in Tales of Hysteria, and that is the dungeon design. A lot of the times when you go into different dungeon places and dungeons, it's the same rooms, but a different variety of enemy, but still the same room. You go down the hallway, opens out room, fight enemies. You run down the hallway, open out rooms, fight enemies. It kind of gets a little boring to say the least when you keep doing that over and over. It's nothing like as far as the design of the actual um, dungeons themselves, and that's been a problem for me ever since Tales of Exilia. I hope I said their name right. Tales of Exilia 1 and 2. They've been kind of like the same. I think Vesperia was the last one. No, well, I take that back. Vesperia and Tales of Grace. Well, no, Tales of Graces did have the same kind of dungeon problem, but Tales of Vesperia didn't. They had like they kind of switched it up a little bit. But for some reason, that's my main uh, issue with Tales of Berseria at this point, is the fact that there's not that much variety in the dungeons, in the places where you actually have to go to when you're going through places, because there's a lot of like little, like you have to go through a mansion, you have to go through like a sewer. Those are basically dungeons, but the problem is they all look the same. They all have like the same layout, and it gets a little boring from time to time when you go through that, because it gets to be repetitive, at least from my standpoint. It gets to be repetitive when all you see is go down hallway, open out room, go down hallway, open out room, go down hallway, open out room. That being said, there's a lot that I actually like here. Once again, the I think the Tales of series does a way better job than most JRPGs in their battle system, because it is an action RPG, and it's pretty much, if you played one, you've kind of got you. If you've played any other of the previous titles in the Tales of series, then you have a good idea of how the game should play, how the game is going to play, how the game's combat is going to be held, how the flow of combat is. It's fast paced because it is an action RPG. It is fast paced. It's easy to pick up, a little challenging to master. They've done a better job in this game of actually giving tutorials so you actually can learn what to do. I feel like this game is actually. I think the games have gotten better in the tutorial since Tales of Exilia, as far as helping gamers learn the different nuances to the battle system, because even though the battle systems technically evolve with every game, you can still pick up what the lingo is, I should say, or the various move styles, because they're pretty much the same moves in every game. For instance, the main character of this game, Velvet Crow, she uses the move set that Regal Bryant uses in Tales of Symphonia. They just added a few things onto it, because a lot of her moves are kicking style moves. And if you actually look at the move list, if you've played Tales of Symphonia, you will see Regal's move list in her moves. Um, There's characters like like Eleanor that actually use Wind Lance and a lot of other moves from other characters that's in the series. So they kind of keep that, but they evolve it at the same time. And I think that's one of the things that I love about the series because I can easily just pick up, go into it, and I'm good to go. So that's one thing. Graphically, the game looks amazing, but all the games to me they do a very good job because while like games like Final Fantasy focus on the realism, the CG and all that, the Tales of series focuses on the anime side of it. Things look hand drawn. They have anime cutscenes as opposed to CG cutscenes. They Most of their cutscenes are hand drawn animation, most times done by production studio production IG or UFO table, and they look very very good. And another thing that I like, and that is the story. I think the story um, is one where you have a main character who, at the beginning, the game starts out basically like a traditional Tales of game. You start in a small village. You have you meet some characters in that village. You meet the main character. You learn how to fight. They show you the fight thing at first with a couple of little characters, the little villains that you're not really shouldn't have any time with. Then something traumatic happens. Well, in this case, the traumatic thing that happens, and you've seen this on my channel if you've been watching any of the gameplay that I've put up, her brother gets killed. And from that point, she basically goes on, she's in full revenge mode. I mean, the things that happen to her, she is full of rage and revenge, and she's not trying to hear anything other than that. That's one of the things about like the character of Velvet that that sets her apart from like any of the other Tales of series characters is that she is not above using people to get to her end goal, which is to kill the man who killed her brother in front of her face. And that to me is a very interesting thing. Now I'll say this because I've played a majority of I've played a number. I won't say a majority because we don't get all the Tales games that come over that get made. We only get a certain amount. But I've played um, a good number of the Tales of games, and I will say this: there is always one to probably three characters in the Tales series that have questionable motives. So it's not like she's like this completely dark character that we've never seen before. If you've played a Tales game, because you've seen them from Kratos in Symphonia to Yuri in Vesperia to uh, I forgot that guy's name in Graces, but you know who I'm talking about. You've seen them all in previous Tales of games. It's just in this one, it's put front and center because she is the main character, and you kind of sympathize. Well, at least I do. I sympathize with her, especially seeing how everything went down in the first moments of the game. So um, I'm loving it right now. I'm about 16 hours in now, and I'm enjoying it. I will be trying to get through this game as quickly as possible because we all know what comes out in March and what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be playing then. But I just wanted to give you guys my first impressions. When I finish it, I'll try to do a review, but I'm crossing my fingers. I hope I can get through it sometime in February. But that's my first impressions. Let me know in the comments. Have you picked up this game? Is it a game that's on your radar? Are you a fan of the Tales series? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what your favorite Tales of game is. And I will see you guys on the next Let's Talk vid. Peace out, peeps.